Welcome back. So let's head to the papers. And Mr. Igo Akiria, member the Guild of Editors of Nigeria, joins us virtually. Mr. Akiria, good morning and thank you for joining us on the program. All right, we hope that Mr. Akiria can hear us.
Bukola, good morning.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. It's good to hear your voice again, Mr. Akiria. Let's start with the Leadership newspaper this morning. And, of course, it's a follow-up on where we started off from yesterday. The face-off tension between the president of Dangote petrochemical refineries and the regulating authority, NMDPRA. Dangote seeks arrest, trial of Downstream Authority CEO in petition to Anti-graft agency. Independent Corrupt Practices Commission says petition will be duly investigated. Downstream Authority CEO Ahmed keeps mum. It's a page 4 read. Mr. Akiria, it appears as if this is now moving away from what was initially and remains a trade dispute to a personal war between. Are we interpreting it wrongly, Mr. Akiria? All right, we'll try to get Mr. Akiria for this particular one, but let's look at other issues that the papers are raising this morning. If you look at the front page of this Leadership newspaper, I beg your pardon, there's also a follow-up to our conversation yesterday, Kayode and Jeffrey. Tinubu, Supreme Court, others mourn. Pardon me, it's another story, but it's also about the judiciary. Supreme Court others mourn ex-Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Mohammed. Of course, that bit of news came through yesterday, a sad one. May his soul rest in peace. Recall that he resigned under very concerning circumstances some years back. And of course, amid concerns also about ill health. And so we condole with the families of the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Mohammed. May his soul rest in peace. There are other stories on the front page of Leadership newspaper. One also that bothers on one of our talking points this morning. The NBA is kicking against Nigeria police determination to resume tinted glass permit enforcement. But of course, we'll be talking about that later on the program. There's more on other front pages.
I think let's try without Mr. Akiria. Mr. Akiria, can you hear us? Mr. Akiria?
Yes, I can.
Yes, please. Go. Yes, okay.
The network here is really, really bad.
Yeah, don't worry. On a lighter note, don't worry. The broadband is coming your way so that your village can get good network ahead of the elections. Anyway, let's see what we can get from you. But go ahead with your comments on the dailies. Oh dear, oh dear.
All right, a quick one. Maybe I want to speak on the Dangote and Palu brief now. Yeah, network is bad.
All right. Well, we'll just believe that maybe some other time Mr. Akiria will be able to catch up with us. But let's look at those dailies again. I think, Bukola, you took
Leadership.
So let's go to This Day newspaper. Okay, no, that's a Guardian. It should be Guardian newspaper. The Guardian newspaper is the paper that is leading. Let's see whether we can get the Guardian now. Anxiety, mistrust cloud Nigeria's tax reform promises and benefits. Anxiety, mistrust cloud Nigeria's tax reform promises. So I always like the way the Guardian tries to do a bit of an explainer here. PIT, personal income tax, the poor is exempted, the middle class pays less, the rich to pay marginally more, residency rules, employment income, then there's the bank and tax ID issue, informal sector issues, tax harmonization, incentives, reforms, and value-added tax. So guys, I don't know anything that is on the mind of Nigerians besides the 2027 election, like the tax reform that will take effect next year, January. We're going to be throwing some of these questions to our guest who is an economist as well, as we prepare for that era. A new regime. 4 laws were passed as far as the tax is concerned. And it looks like the more the government explains, the more the people say, we don't trust what you're saying, you're coming for our money. But I watched the video, guys, that made sense to me. And that has to do with, there's a culture with Nigerian leadership. Look, it's important. If you look at, for instance, I looked at the oil price yesterday. It was as low as $55 per barrel, as low as that. As at this morning, it has gotten up to $56 per barrel. So you see, we estimated that oil price this year will be 75. So we're wrong as a country. It's a projection, so it's a loud assumption of 75. So we are like $20 behind. So in terms of the oil sector, which is the biggest cash cow, in terms of our FX earnings, we're not doing too well. The non-oil has done quite well. As at August, according to the presidency, it has done some significant numbers, almost hitting that target or hitting the target by an extent. So what government tries to do is to see how they can optimize as much as possible to generate revenue and income, or revenue for the government to do the work they are meant to do. But the big question everyone should be asking now, so let me be specific. The government is not going back on this tax thing. It may take about a year to perfect because there will be issues, there will be misunderstanding and all of that. Eventually, what Nigerians are asking for is, I don't think the average Nigerian has a problem with paying taxes. Just like we don't have a problem for electricity. We have a problem with it not being available. There is a part of generating revenue, but we need to ask government how they are spending our money. So with this tax era comes a huge responsibility on the shoulders of the government to be able to account for every penny that they spend, which is why we're interested in this Dangote Ahmed Farouk allegation that if a public servant, as alleged, can spend $5 million, not naira, on his children, he has to do some explaining. One of the biggest problems we have in Nigeria, sometimes it's not even, yes, we have a revenue problem, but the little revenue we get is being stolen by people in public office. Some of them steal this money. We've had them been taken by the EFCC. We had all kinds of humongous allegations, some of them found guilty and all of that. So now that the government is saying, we're coming for your money, we're going to check you, make sure that you pay the right taxes. If money is coming into your account, we're not sure where it's coming from, we're going to write to you and ask you, please explain where these monies are coming from. So as much as the government is putting his eyes and his searchlight on the monies that flow through our accounts, we will not let the government rest. That is a responsibility all of us have to take, guys, as a people, to make sure that this government is responsible and successive government is responsible, because it's a Nigerian law. It's not going to be a Tinubu tax law. Yes, it's his era that brought it into being, but it's going to be a Nigerian thing. So as much as government is preparing, my own is we also need to prepare to hold the government to account as to how they are spending our money. So that's why you see this anxiety, mistrust, as far as the issue of the tax reform and tax era is concerned, guys.
Oh, yes. Take a look at this Nigerian newspaper. That's the next paper we're looking at this morning, and it focuses on one of the biggest stories in the country. At this point, it's almost an unusual sight, really, to see. And you see oil war on the front page of this Nigeria. Okay, you don't have that yet. All right, let's go to New Telegraph newspaper then. New Telegraph newspaper. All right, New Telegraph, there you go. New tax law coming with good news for the poor, low-income earners, Tinubu to Nigerians. So, yeah, that's how the president chooses to deliver the tax law to Nigerians. It's coming with good news for the poor and low-income earners. If you flip that, what does that mean for the rich and high-income earners? If it is good, if it is coming with
exactly
good
what
news,
it is, marginally higher.
If it is good news for the poor, that means it is what for the, well, you do the math yourself, but interesting times, and I think it's a point you have made time and again, Jeffrey. But yes, to the back and forth. It's not really a back and forth between billionaire businessman Aliko Dangote and the NMDPRA boss. It's the billionaire businessman speaking and the NMDPRA boss mum, quiet, literally. And I think if we can have, now I'm not preempting the case, it's before the anti-graft agencies. We'll show you some of those allegations on the show. But I think this is the kind of country we should have, where people are not afraid to speak up. Right? Fine, it will go through due process. But speak up. If you have evidence, tender it. Let us grow that habit of speaking up in the face of whether it is impunity or alleged impunity, in the face of corruption or alleged corruption, in the face of whatever is wrong. We should have that culture as a people to speak up. A lot of people will first consider, will my business be affected? My business will be affected. Okay, I'm not going to speak up. Would my family be affected? My family will be affected. I won't speak up. But the truth is, what is wrong, and we all have that right. First, that freedom of expression, but secondly, the responsibility to build a society that we are proud of. And we will not build it until we start speaking up. So I think this is the Sorosoke era. Literally, billionaire businessman Aliko Dangote is Sorosokeing. And we'll wait to see how the ICPC handles it. We'll wait to see the NMDPRA boss's response to it as well, because he's innocent until proven otherwise. They're just mere allegations at this point. But if there's anything we should take away from this, is the fact that 2020 Sorosoke has been revived, and everybody should start Sorosokeing.
And you know,
when billionaire Sorosoke, I like it.
We need not lose sight. Yes, indeed, it's an allegation, and perhaps it's gotten personal, and you know, children shouldn't be brought into the mix. We should emphasize that. But whether or not that is a concern, this issue has been brought to light and it should be investigated. But we should also lose sight of what got us here in the first place, which is the price war between the authority and the domestic refinery, Dangote refinery. In the last couple of months, we've seen him bring down the pump price of petrol consistently. That has also elicited, an opposition from the major marketers who, made some demands according to the president of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. But we saw that was countered by DAPMAN, which also, presented its own case, saying that they just want fair practices in the industry. And we also saw another tension, between the petroleum refiner, Dangote Refinery, and the unionists. Of course, remember Pengasan and Dangote war. And with the president also alleging that it's the marketers that were using the unionists against him. So we must not lose sight of all of those issues that brought us here in the first place, and ask why we're seeing, of course, Nigerians want lower petrol prices, but why are we seeing the prices falling? Is there a problem or an abundance of a glut, and of course a need for the petroleum refiner to make money? And then why are we having more licenses issued to marketers to refine, to import petroleum products, if indeed it is the case that our own domestic refiner can deliver 44 million liters of petroleum products per day to Nigerians. So we must not lose sight of all those facts and ensure that the interest of Nigerians eventually is what is covered here. And also not lose sight of the concerns over our own state refinery, which is comatose at the moment, despite the monies invested in the refinery for turnaround maintenance over the years. Those are the more important issues to be looked into. But should we protect a homegrown refinery that has now gotten a capacity to export beyond local production? Absolutely yes. And also ensure a level playing field for all the marketers in the field as well, and ensure that Nigerians pay less up for petroleum products eventually. So we must not lose sight of those issues.
Exactly, Bukola, well said. Because the argument here is to arbitrary licenses being granted to importers of petroleum products when we can refine locally. But there's also the argument of diversity in terms of supply chain, so that everybody is in business. The fairness is what is being requested for. Dangote is arguing to the effect that okay, be fair to everybody. Why are you importing when I can do it right here? They are saying, no, we cannot just depend on you to provide our petroleum products. But the argument was to national sovereignty, energy sovereignty, if you will, in that sense. So I think both sides have some valid argument. It's now to look for a middle ground. But what the Dangote team are arguing again is the fact that the ones you're even importing, they are substandard. So even if you want to import, why are you importing substandard products? So that's the allegation as well. There's a lot of corruption, a lot of the mafia in the oil and gas sector. Because I don't want to know. If you want to understand geopolitics, that's another aspect where it plays out. There's a lot beyond the local scene that plays out. So, but for now, what has been brought to bear is that Mr. Ahmed Farouk, the NMDPRA boss, is living above his means. That's an allegation. He has to answer that question, and we will find that answer. With the greatest respect to his family, as you said, I don't like bringing family, children into all of this, but it has happened already. But we'll take a break.
And when we return, we'll begin the first leg of our conversation. So stay with us, we'll be right back.